All right, now before we jump into the next lesson, I want to make sure you get your lab environment ready to go. Like I said earlier, we're going to be doing everything hands-on in this course. So I want you to follow along using your own system. And that's pretty much how you learn Linux for real. It's not just watching, but by typing these commands yourself and seeing what happens. And the easiest way to set up a Linux lab is by using VirtualBox. So let me switch over to my system so I can show you guys how to get VirtualBox installed. I already had a website up, but this is Windows 11. And so I want you guys to go over to virtualbox.org. And then from the home page, go down and click on the download button up here at the top. And this will take you to where you can get all the packages based on the platform that you're running on. And like I said, we're running on Windows. And then you also have options for Mac OS. And the reason I chose to do this install on Windows is because I know that majority of the people that will watch this course is probably going to be working off of a Windows system or Mac OS. And I promise you, this is the last time we will see a Windows operating system. But anyway, let's go down and click the download. And I already downloaded it already. I ran into a problem because this Windows OS is messed up, but let's go up in here and run the actual exe file. So that's essentially what it'll download, an exe file. And let me delete that duplicate, but let's go on and get it installed and just walk through the normal process of installing an exe, which should be very simple for you guys. Just hit accept, next, and yes, and next, and install. All right. And then one other thing, while this thing is installing, let me show you guys how to get the ISO. So if you go over to ubuntu.com, I just recommend you guys use Ubuntu. All you have to do is hit downloads. And of course, I have all these links down in the description of the video. You can download either or, the desktop version, the server version. They even have a Raspberry Pi version if you want to use it. But I'm going to just download the server version just to make this simple. And the install is not that long, so I'll just show you guys this one, but the process is pretty much the same no matter if it's the desktop or the server. Actually, the desktop is a little bit more graphical. It'll bring up a graphical desktop environment, and the server is still a menu based install, so it's not that difficult. But anyway, once it downloads, it'll let you know. And actually, let me finish up the VirtualBox install right fast so we can go down and uncheck that, hit finish, and then let's go down and minimize this right fast. All right, and it looks like it didn't download yet, so you hit here. This will take you to the download page, and it'll start the download on your system automatically. And this is the latest version. 24.04 is the long-term supported release currently. And what that means is you'll get security updates and support for 5 years. And so just let it download, and I'll come back when it finishes. One of the things I do also, whenever I have VirtualBox installed, I create a folder like in my documents or something like that to store all my ISOs. So let's create a new folder in here, and I just keep everything organized that way. So this is actually Linux ISOs, and press enter. So that's where we'll store all our ISOs on our system. So once that one downloads, which we have a downloads folder open already, we can just copy it over to that folder. And that's where we'll store, organize our Linux ISOs or whatever ISOs you download to the system. All right, so now that it's downloaded, all you have to do is grab this ISO. Let's go down and copy it or cut it and move it over here to our ISO directory. And let's go down and close all this stuff to clean up the screen. But let's open up VirtualBox and walk you guys through how to set up your first virtual machine. Now, once it opens up, this is VirtualBox. It's very simple. Now, I may run into issues, but you shouldn't run into any issues like that, where it just popped up and said that it couldn't emulate a USB. You shouldn't see that when you pull it up. But anyway, so in order to create a new virtual machine, all you have to do is click new here. And this will go through the process of setting one up. And you can name it whatever you want to. Like, for instance, you can name it Ubuntu-training. And then it will create a directory under your user directory called VirtualBox VMs, and that's where it'll store the virtual hard drives. Now, what you want to do is select your ISO, and like I said, we stored that in our documents directory. We had that Linux ISO directory, and that's why it's best to just organize everything. That way you put it in the same place, and that's pretty much it. It'll go down and pull in the type of operating system based on the ISO. It automatically saw that it was Ubuntu 24, so it's selected down here, so you don't have to select any of that. All you have to do is hit next. Boom. And I haven't used VirtualBox in a while now, so this is my first time seeing this, but you can get the unattended guest as installs onto your system by by using a username and password it'll create, or you can just attach it this way. This is the way I used to do it. I would just attach the ISO and then install it via that way. But also it's super cool because they added this. If you have a Windows host or a Windows guest, then you can put the product key in there and all that good stuff. So let's hit next right there. I'm just not going to select it. And this is where you set up your hardware. Now, this is the base memory. You can set it up for about 2 gigs, but it all depends on how much hardware you have on your system. I'm gonna just use 2 because this is really a virtual machine that I'm running this in. And so it only has 8 gigs of memory. So I'm gonna select 2 and I'm gonna leave the processor at 1. It's all depending on what you have on your system. And then you want to at least have about 20 gigabytes of space for server install. That's what I recommend. It'll default it to 25. That's fine. And so we'll hit next there. And just so you guys don't do this, but don't hit the pre-allocated full size. We want to leave the drive dynamic so it'll grow as the operating system gets bigger. So anyway, let's hit next there and then finish. And so now all you have to do is select your newly created virtual machine and then hit start, and that will start up the actual virtual machine. You can go through the install of the operating system. And so I'm gonna stop right here, but I'm gonna switch over to another virtual machine so you guys can see the full install of Ubuntu server. All right, so I'm booted up into the ISO. Let me go down and walk you guys through the install right fast so you can get your lab set up. So let's hit try and install the Ubuntu server. And what it'll do, it'll boot up the operating system from the ISO, and then it'll automatically open up the installer. And you'll see how easy it is once we actually get to it. It's not difficult at all. And boom, here we go. All we have to do is just select your language, and I'll quickly run through this. You select your keyboard layout, press enter there. And what I recommend you guys do is install the top one. Don't do the minimize because it comes with a lot less tools that you most likely will need. Like for instance, the tab, like autocomplete in the terminal, and certain tools you may need, they'll be pre-installed on the system just to make the experience a whole lot better with the server. So recommend you do that. You don't have to install third-party drivers, but so let's hit done there. You can select a static IP address, or you can leave it the way it is. That's fine. Let's go and hit done. If you have a proxy server, you can select a proxy server. We're not going to do that. Then this is going to check the mirrors for Ubuntu and find the closest ones to you, which most likely will be in the US. If you're not in the US, then it'll pull up the mirrors that are closest to you, no matter where you are in the world. Now, all you have to do is wait for that to finish, and it doesn't really tell you. It tells you right here, the mirror location passed the test. And so just hit done there. And then right here is just setting up the hard drive. So it automatically selected our 32 gigabyte hard drive that we had set up, a virtual disk setup. So just verify that's selected. Use the entire disk. You can set up LVM. I'll leave all that default. This is all normal or easy for you to set up. And then this is a summary of everything that it's going to do. So all you have to do is press enter there for done, and it will start the install after creating your account. So create just a normal account. You can name it whatever you want. So let's name the server. I'm gonna just put UBS 24. So this Ubuntu 2024. And then our user account, or the username that will be in there, that's different from your name at the top. It wants you to put in your full name, but you don't have to up at the top. And then let's go down and type in our full password or password, whatever password you want to use. Just make sure you remember it because you're going to need that a lot once we get into the course. And I'll show you guys that once we start running commands as sudo. And you can skip this right here. This is Ubuntu Pro. Make sure you install OpenSSH server on the system. And let's go down and skip down to the bottom, hit done. And then you can also install applications. It gives you this option to install certain applications that are typically used by people that are setting up servers. So I'm gonna just skip that and hit done. And then it's already installing in the background, and you'll see it start moving there. It's installing the kernel right now. That's why it allows you to select all those other selections, because it hasn't got to that part where it installs other software that you want on there, as well as installing SSH and then creating the user account. It'll do that over time. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll see when it's ready to reboot. As you can see, the server install is very simple. It's not that difficult to do. All you have to do is go down here to reboot now. It'll tell you that the installation is complete. One thing that you'll probably see, it'll pop up with this failed, because it's trying to unmount the CD drive. It thinks it's a CD drive, but it's a virtual CD drive. So it doesn't like automatically open up with the CD. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to press enter. That way it'll get past that. And then it'll boot up your operating system from there. And then you can just log in using the user account that you created, and then we can go through the training from here. All right, so let me go down and show you guys how to get the graphical version of Ubuntu installed as well. Let's hit try and install Ubuntu. This will bring up a graphical environment. So once it boots up, like I said, it'll go right into the installer, just like the server install we just did. And it's pretty much the same. It just looks a lot better. So you select your language, boom, accessibility. I'm gonna hit next, but you can go in and make changes there if you need them. Select your keyboard layout, next, and then connect to the internet. The same way, we're gonna use the wired connection. You can update the installer. I'm gonna just skip that for right now and just hit install. Then you can do the interactive install or the automated install. I recommend you just do the interactive. That way you can set everything up the way you want it. You have your default selection or extended selection. This is for offline. You can select all your tools that you want, but let's hit next there. Install third-party software if you need it for like graphics and Wi-Fi, hardware, all that stuff. You can download and install support for additional media formats and all that stuff. So that's if you need it. I'm just hit next there. I'm not going to do it because, like I said, this is just in VirtualBox. So we're just going to run through it. Let's see, erase this. Yes, we want to. You can go into the advanced features. You can use LVM and encryption. Erase the disk and use ZFS if you want to. ZFS and encryption. We're going to roll with what we have right there with just LVM. Let's go down and hit next there and let's go down and create our account. And then I'm gonna just name this U24. So Ubuntu 24 and then put in our password, boom. And then put it in twice and then require password to log in. Yes. And then there is an option to add it to Active Directory. We don't need that. Select your location, boom. And then right here is the summary. And all we have to do is hit install and it will install the operating system. And lastly, it's hard for me to go through every distribution. So these are just two of the simplest I wanted to go through, but you can get Rocky Linux installed the exact same way. Just download the ISO, boot up the ISO, and then it's a simple just walkthrough of installing Rocky Linux. And if you guys need any help, you could check anywhere on my channel. I have videos showing you guys how to install a whole bunch of different types of Linux distributions. And nowadays, a lot of these distributions are very simple to install, just like what we experienced with Ubuntu a few seconds ago. But once this finishes installing, we're just going to reboot and then you can log into it and you'll have a full desktop environment that you can play around with and break during this course. So let's move on to the next area.